Okay, for this assignment, you're going to need to know what an analogous color scheme is. So, an analogous color scheme is basically colors that are close to each other on the color wheel. So, I have these cutouts, and this can show you some samples. That would be a pretty boring analogous color scheme, so I wouldn't recommend that. But you can do something like that. You can do something like that where you use these three colors or these three colors, and you can keep going around the color wheel that way, because basically an analogous color scheme is limiting your palette to colors that are close to each other on the color wheel. So I've been showing you analogous color schemes using three colors. If you want, you can expand it and use a slightly larger analogous color scheme, which would be 4 colors. Here it would be mostly yellow, green, and blue. Blues and greens. Blues and purple. Getting into some magenta. And then getting into a more red here. You leave the blues and go into purple, then you get into the red. The purple, magenta, the mixed red, and then the red. So that's an analogous color scheme. One of your urban sketches should be done using an analogous color scheme. So you're going to choose either 3 of these colors or 4 of the colors. You can even limit it to 2 if you wanted to do a very limited palette analogous color scheme. The second urban sketch you're going to do a complementary color scheme. And this can be a little tricky because if you mix complementary colors, you're going to get a gray. So you're going to have to be careful about how you put these colors next to each other. If you let one dry and then you put the other one next to it, you're not going to have a problem with them mixing. If you're using them both wet, you're going to have to be very careful about not letting them mix, or knowing that if they do mix, they're going to be very close to gray or a very dulled out color. So this is a yellow purple complementary color scheme with some blue entering in. Here, blue orange. Here, red green, and this is a greenish blue, so it goes along with that. You can use a total of 4 colors. You can just stick with using 2 colors to make it a little easier. Here, red and green, you could use all 4 of these colors or these colors. I think we already went here, yellow and purple. You can also just, like I said, narrow it down to 2 colors. So that's going to be your second sketch, an analogous color scheme. One more thing a complementary color scheme. 1 analogous color scheme, 1 complementary color scheme. Analogous, they are close to each other on the color wheel. Complementary, they're opposite each other on the color wheel. One more thing I just wanted to show you was I did this color chart that is similar to this, but it's using different colors. You can see these are more brilliant because they have 2 pigments mixed together. Each of these watercolors is a single pigment watercolor, so that means there's only 2 pigments in all of these colors. What's different about this, and you can sort of see the difference in the intensity of the color, because all of these have 3 pigments, and I'll show you why. Because I mixed here purple with yellow, and as you know, I didn't give you a purple watercolor, so this purple is red and blue mixed together, and then when I mix it with the yellow, that's the 3rd color, and that's why all of these are slightly less intense. They're still pretty good colors. They're very good colors actually, but they are going to have less intensity, and that's just something to know about watercolor. But the main purpose I did this chart was to show you that you can really neutral out these watercolors to a gray, and that would be using the Pyrrole red with the lemon yellow and phthalo blue. And you can see how that just really is a true gray here. To get a nice brown, you might want to use Pyrrole yellow, golden yellow with Pyrrole red and ultramarine blue. And by adding more of the orange color, you'll get a nice brown. And a lot of different variations of brown and gray, and I'm going to post this so that you don't have to make a color chart, and you'll know what colors to mix when you want to get a neutralized color. All right, short video. I'm going to link you to a video by Teo for the urban sketching.